How's your weekend?
Not too bad. Open houses. And then yesterday did Christmas decorations. I decked the halls in my house.
Nice. Nice. Fucking nice. Nice, Gary. I was doing something and I forgot what I was doing and I just looked at my computer. I'm like, oh, that's what I was doing.
It's me every day.
It's every day. Good morning,
That's
Christina. Good morning,
Good
Erica.
morning. Looking a little light here pre-Christmas.
right.
That.
Only the committed ones.
They're like, man, Christmas is in 2 days. I want to go to sleep.
You want to know a trip though? Something crazy. So I did an open house on Saturday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
And
saw a ghost.
no, I mean kind of, but
That was fucking perfect.
so I'm doing this open
You're
house.
just the ghost guy now.
I got to go back to that house tomorrow, by the way. Um,
You don't have to.
You needed.
Are you sure it was your client telling you to go and not the ghost itself? Been like, hey, Eric.
it could be. Could be. So yesterday I do this open house. It was decent, but the price is too high, so you ain't gonna get a whole lot. Um, so I'm standing in there, and this married couple comes walking in, and they look really familiar. They're all, "Yeah, we're moving from so and so." I was like, "Really? I lived in so and so," and this is like in Birmingham, Alabama. They're all, "Yeah, we lived by the big old city park." I was like, "You know that big farmhouse down the street from there?" They're all, "Yeah." I was like, "That's my family's house. That's my family's farm." They're all, "Wait, you're like Eric, as in Chuck's son, Eric?" I was like, "Yeah." They're all, "We were your neighbor. We used to babysit you."
That is so weird.
That's wild, dude.
I was
Dude,
like, "No way."
The ghosts on Mary Lane sent them.
It's
that's so
Star
crazy.
Avenue.
That's like
Yeah, it
me
was a
running
trip.
into my high school science teacher at an open house out in Tucson Estates from Alaska.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I just renewed my broker's license.
That's what's
I
up.
feel like you just got that.
I got to
Man,
renew it.
time flies. Every year you have to do it?
Yeah.
Damn, that's sucky.
Well, it's a being a broker is you got a much higher level of things, and it cost me $120 to redo instead of 60.
Hmm. Well, thank you for doing that. We appreciate it.
So plus I paid my dues. So just today is $756 just to be here with you licensed.
I was gonna say it's not cheap.
Yeah, I still have to pay dues. Now, where is everybody? I'm disappointed.
Well,
Christmas week, bro. Christmas week.
all the people that are here, are the people that are here, and that's what matters. So we got we got five people on total, which means Eric gave a win, Christina gave a win, Dan gave a win, Erica gave a win, James gave us a win. We're all gonna have wins. But
Well, I
uh,
missed Friday. You guys know what my win was. Dan knows what my win
I know
is.
my win. So
I'll take it out.
I'll put it in the chat for you. Hold on, stand by.
also,
Okay.
and then the wife sends holiday blessings.
Yay.
So cute.
So you're welcome from the wife. Yeah,
Okay, it's
for
loading.
being Christmas week, I have a lot scheduled this week. All right, look in the chat. Look at
Okay.
that beautiful color.
Oh, dang.
I like the color.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm a big fan of black and white.
No, it's tan interior.
No, the outside silly.
Oh, okay. I was like, no, no.
Why? Because it looks like your truck.
But everything in my driveway is black and white, dude.
I noticed.
So cute. Congratulations.
Thanks, thanks. P.S. If you guys ever need to get a car, make sure you've got Dan on speed dial in the finance manager's office. Oh, legit saved me like $2,500 extra, like the day of as we were signing.
Hey.
Yeah, I already had like taken them to task, a little bit on because I was sending Dan like every quote they gave me and like putting it up against ones in Phoenix and like Dan's like, okay, yeah. Every time we talked, he was like, I know you can do better than $500. And then I'd say something, and he's like, I know, but I mean, what's $1,000 between friends? It was like a decrease every time. So they did more, and then they freaking like they're there presenting like the final prices and the extended warranty and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, hold on, do you mind if I make a call real quick? I have to call my coach. The guy was like kind of looked at me sideways, like, what? And then I'm talking to Dan, and I'm like, Dan, hold on, can I just put you on speakerphone with this guy at the office? He's like, yeah, go for it. So I put the phone down, I turn it around, and Dan's profile picture's there. It says Dan Caldwell. And the finance guy's like, wait, is this Dan Caldwell? Dan Caldwell? Man, this is Yuli, blah, blah, blah. And so Dan was like, man, come on now. I know all these games, and just straight up, like, yeah, it was sweet.
I'm taking Dan with me to buy my next truck.
Oh, if you
Man.
buy a vehicle without talking to Dan and giving him the rundown, you're making a mistake.
It is important to know how to do the deal. And that's the thing is in our business and any other business, who you know matters because it's also going to give you insight on what you can and can't do. That's why I love this morning call because it's not just the negotiations on cars or houses or different things. It's realizing you got a tribe of people around you that'll help you. And I'll tell you, I know Christina must have called me or texted me 100 times on this car deal. Every bit of it was exciting for me. I wasn't annoyed or bothered by it whatsoever. And I know some people are going to be hesitant to do so because they feel like they're going to be bothering you. If you're there to help, people love it. Don't people get excited to help?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, especially if I can save you a few $1,000s, it's worth it.
The best part was after you got off the phone and we were like, okay, yeah, cool, cool. And then he was like, hold on, you know what? Give me a second. And then he discounted it a little bit more because he was like, just because I know Dan's gonna look at these numbers and get pissed at me at this one. Like after he got off the phone, it was another couple $100 on something.
The gap. I bet.
Yeah,
Well,
that's what it was.
funniest thing. So when I came over to Keller Williams from my old brokerage, the first time Dan called me, I was actually buying a vehicle. Like we had just gotten up keys, and he was yelling at me because I hadn't changed my voicemail yet.
A lot of you still haven't.
It's funny.
Change your voicemail.
No, I literally like in the office or just recording a new voicemail because I didn't want to piss off the broker.
No, I appreciate that I have that influence over you, but the authority doesn't come from my title, it comes from my boot. So,
True.
well, good morning. We got more stragglers coming in. Good morning, Josh. Good morning, Liz. Good morning, Fabi. Good morning, Serena. Welcome to the Monday before Christmas show. I don't even know what's it look like the next week. We have one more Monday this year, don't we? We do, the 29th.
Yeah.
Know if I'm going to be in town that Monday because we are going to Pine Top.
I'm gonna be in New York City, but you know how I roll, Dan. I'll call in from wherever.
I do. You did from Mexico. That was pretty cool.
Mexico, Chicago, all the things.
We're a global call at this point.
Yep.
All right. Anything happen over the weekend you guys want to talk about? Because my mindset reset today is kind of just the fact that you're showing up today is important.
I had
This
a
is
funny
me.
thing
I have it.
happen.
Wait, see what we got.
Well, I have a house in escrow right now. I've got the seller, and the buyer's agent hit us with the Binzer, and one of the notes in there on the plumbing report, the plumber put something about the hot water heater. It was like the hot water heater is 7 years old. It's no longer in warranty. Signs of prior leaks or something like that. And I was like, is he even looking at the right house? It's literally just been replaced in October, brand new. Now the connections, like the lines weren't new, so we're gonna look at doing that because they asked for that. But she, like the agent didn't even question it. She just sent it to me, and so I looked it up again. I asked my client because I was like, did they just get like a janky old unit that some guy installed earlier? But the serial number and everything checks out. So that was weird. I've never had a plumber come back or anybody come back on an inspection report stating that a piece of equipment was older than it was. I don't know if he just got a number wrong or something or what, but so then of course it just looks like I don't know. I hope the buyer's agent is relaying to the buyer it is not, in fact, a 7-year-old unit
Yeah, no.
because
They're
she's
communicating it. Come on now. You think agents gonna tell people the truth about stuff?
well, I sent her a I responded to it via email. I was like, I'm quite confused by this. It's not a 7-year-old unit. It's manufactured in June of this year, installed in October. Here's the serial number if you want to look it up. And then I even sent her a photo of the label from it. It was just weird because now her buyer's like asking, all these questions from the seller disclosure, which I haven't had a ton of buyers that normally it's like they just read it, they do their thing, but I don't often have them come back and ask questions like line this, what does this mean? Line that, explain that more. Maybe that's common, but I haven't had a ton of it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, it helps showcase what happens out there, being able to explain it all. But we had a 10-day counter cycle.
What does that mean?
Offer submitted on 12/12, offer accepted today, or
Oh,
technically it was
wow.
2 days ago. But we started on the 12th. Actually,
Wow.
no, the purchase contract was, yeah, the 12th.
That's crazy.
And then counter, back counter, multiple counter, delayed multiple counter, response, acceptance on Saturday.
Dang. I'm working through one that we started on Thursday and I thought that was long.
So I want to talk about that today, is like creating that stickiness with your clients. How do we help our clients see that the back and forth is kind of worth it? Get a final number in your mind. Let's go in less than that. Let's see what we can do. And then know that there's going to be some back and forth. Now, there was another cash buyer that popped up in the middle of this, and that's what kind of threw everything off the rails. We offered 500. It's listed at 574. We offered 500. What element of negotiation is that when I go at 500? Do you remember? It's called an anchor.
Anchoring.
Called an anchor. We're anchoring it. Do my clients really think they're going to get the house for 500,000?
No.
$75,000 off? No. But would they be fucking excited if they did? Yes. And then we get countered at 570. They came down $4,000. Okay. This agent knows what they're doing. They anchored back. Because had they come down to 560, 540, right? They'd have shown their hand, wouldn't they have?
Yeah.
Mind you, we asked for washer, dryer, refrigerator, kitchen table. There's a chest of drawers in the walking areas, a smoker on the backboard. We asked for everything. Why did we ask for everything?
So you had something to work with?
We had stuff to give away. So, first counter, 570. Hell, I even included the admin fee on my broker compensation, 3%
Nice.
plus 595. Counter one, purchase price 570. Buyer's broker compensation shall be the total of 3%. No miscellaneous broker fees. The personal property shall be removed from the contract because they're going to flip it to a bill of sale. I was like, whatever. It's okay to be on the contract. There's lines for it on the contract.
Yeah.
So people don't realize that. Counterback takes a whole 3 days because they're just one seller's in Afghanistan, one seller's in Oklahoma. He's a civilian contractor, so very difficult back and forth. We counter back after much chagrin and conversation at 550 with $10,000 in closing costs, and still want the table and the brochure and all the stuff that they've offered before. This was on the 16th. It took them 4 more days of back and forth phone calls and texts to get us a counter accepting 550.
It's crazy.
However, the buyers would have paid 575.
Hilarious. Those are the wins. Those are the ones that feel good. Where you like, I know you're willing for this, but look what I got you.
Yeah, we got one of the counters read back. Where is it? Home being sold as is. I remember where was that? I can't remember. I think it was multiple counter one. Multiple counter. I love multiple. Yeah. There we go. Oh, also, I forgot. Offer one, we were also buyer contingent. So we had a contingency
Oh.
on there. So count the multiple counter, buyer contingency removed, purchase to convey as is, purchase price 550, close of escrow January 30th. All of the terms and conditions remain the same. Okay. And then they got back to me like, well, what about my buyer said, well, what about on this thing that says convey as is? Do we have do we get to do inspections? I'm like, the purchase contract itself says the house is being sold as is. Even though they say as is, doesn't mean we can't have our inspections. And you better bet if there's something major wrong, we're gonna ask. And they're like, well, what do you mean? So that goes back to that conversation is how do you keep people connected during the back and forth? One of the text messages that showcase how this works is he texts back, I'm losing interest by the hour. And I asked him why. Well, he's an engineer and he's instant gratification type of person. So it's all about, I want to go to the store, I want to buy it off the shelf, I want to take it home that day. I don't want to wait. That's not how this works. And so his
Those are
first,
the people car dealerships like.
yeah, those are the people car dealerships love. Come in, buy it, walk out that day. I used to be that way. So after I understand that urgency or that instant gratification feeling, and it really does take away the ether of buying. If you guys don't know what the term ether is, how excited are you to go test drive new cars and go get excited and look at new houses? Like you start putting yourself in these etheristic positions where like, oh, this is going to be amazing. My life would be awesome. This would be fantastic. I want this. I want this. I want this. Make a poor decision. Then you go home and you sleep on it. And the next day you're not as excited about it. Or not at all. You're like, that would be a terrible decision. Why would I ever buy a minivan? But that day you drove it, you thought it was fantastic. And if you drive a minivan, I mean all of the offense. I'm only kidding.
I almost got the Carnival. I was like, but it doesn't totally look like a minivan.
It's still a
Thanks,
minivan.
God.
Still a minivan. But here's the thing, right? You're in the ether. You're in the element. They want you to buy in the ether because that's when you're emotionally charged. And let me ask you, as a human being, do you make the best decisions when you're emotionally charged?
Definitely not.
Yes.
We're not
I mean,
all like Christina.
They make the best stories, maybe not the best decision. And
I was
that's
gonna
what,
say when you don't question it, it's fine. It's whatever.
yeah, it is what it is. Why did you buy a blow up dinosaur that's 20 feet tall? Don't ask questions, right? But that's the thing is, and we're in the ether. That's like people, they show a house, they look at a house, they want to put an offer in. The ether is there. Even if they put an offer in the next day, it like resets the ether because they're like, oh, we put an offer in, it gets getting real. Anyone ever heard that from a client? Oh, it's getting real. Dude, it was real when I unlocked the door. Like it was real a while ago. This isn't a new thing. Well, as we go counter for counter, back and forth, delay, 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 that ether goes away, away, away. So we have to keep them built into it. And how do we do that? We'll remind them the back and forth is worth it. Guys, this house is going to be awesome. Imagine we're talking about the backyard you were going to do and where you're going to put your pool. And remember that garden that you were talking about? It already has the water lines to it. Can you imagine waking up here and seeing that sun? It's going to be amazing, right? We keep putting people back in the ether. One of the best ways to do it is take them back out to the house.
Yeah.
We did it in the car business. We used to tell the sales guys, as a sales manager, I used to tell them, go put them back in the car. What do you mean? They've already driven it. No. We've been here for 4 hours negotiating back and forth. They've forgotten what it smelled like. They forgot what it drove. Go put them back in the car. Take them back out there. Take it for another round. Say, you know what? I just want to make sure that this is the right car for you. Put them back in the car. Go do an extra test drive. Go do some felony speeding. I don't care. Have some fun. And they'd come back, big old smiles, sign the paper. You got to put them back in the ether. Sales is the transference of energy. We get to convey our excitement for people into their excitement to do it. Because after all, spending money itself creates dopamine, but it also makes you crash. Who's ever heard of buyer remorse?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a kind of a big thing, especially in our business, right? How many of us have had a buyer put an offer in, it gets accepted? Hell yeah, next day I want to cancel.
Just happened.
Just happened, right, Eric? It's like You're like, why? This is literally everything you said you wanted, except what they wanted changed because now they're out of the ether. It's going to happen a lot more with people who've never seen the house. It's going to happen a whole lot more for people who've never been in the house. And as we move further away from in the house to document back and forth, negotiation back and forth, you've lost a lot of that ether. That's why it's really important when you're doing your inspections to have your inspection repair request right after that. Because they were in the house with you during inspections. They were there, they were measuring things, they were walking it around. The kids were like, this is my room and this is my room.
I like
Now-
to send photos during inspections. Like if they're not there, I like to pick some of the cool highlights and features and send it and be like, man, I forgot how cool this was, or like make some comments and build the hype if they're not there.
At least I'm not the only one. I thought I was overdoing it when I do that.
No, you're not. What you're doing, other people didn't know, is creating the ether. You're creating that spell that draws people in again. That is the magic of buying and selling, is getting people excited about what it will be. Right? So my ST, my little Explorer I bought myself last month. I went and test drove, sat in and looked at maybe 70 different cars and SUVs. I don't get excited about things. I research them to death. Because if I can research something to death and then still want it, I know it's a good decision. Usually after the first round of research or the second round of research, I've talked myself out of buying something. Because I used to be the type that was all, oh, it's shiny, I want it. And now I'm like, that money has to be earmarked for something better, bigger. There's a reason behind it. So I don't let salespeople keep me in the ether at all. Because I tell myself, I'm not making a decision. If it's more than $1,000, I wait 24 hours to do it. I own a lot of $1,000 and less things. Like the last gun I bought, $800. Didn't have to think about it. Right there, I'll take. That's pretty. What is that? That's $800. I'll take it. Right? Terrible, terrible. I know. But I'm at, like, that's the thing. It used to be $100. Like, it was more than $100. I'd have to think about it. But then my lifestyle improved, and so did my ability to just make impulse decisions. We got to look at the other side of that. Is how do we keep people in the excitement, keep people in the ether, keep people in the lifestyle, show them what it's going to be long term, help them see the vision that you can see. Because a lot of people are blinded by that. A lot of people have clients that come through, and a lot of agents I've talked to have seen this, where you see a wall as maybe this ugly ass green. And you're like, you can just paint it. But for some reason, they're hung up on the stupid green wall. Some people don't have vision, and it's difficult to deal with because their ether gets choked up by just something as simple as that green wall.
Or they see something in the inspection report and the way that it's phrased. Like, I feel like that happens more often than not. Like we know how simple a fix something is, and they'll see it and be like, oh my God, how do we get out of this deal? And it's just like, bro, that's like a $15 piece at the hardware store.
Yeah, what do you mean I don't have a high loop on my dishwasher? Is it going to burn down? Clearly, you guys have not done enough inspections to know.
Oh, I was like, every time.
Every single one of them.
That and the pressure relief valve on the hot water heater.
Yeah, every single one of them.
That or missing CGI or GFI.
GFI is in a house built in the 50s. They didn't exist back then, homie.
Mm-hmm.
I look at these and I go back to our rules, right? What's the number one rule or the number one job of a real estate professional? Is to
provide perspective.
Perspective, right? To provide perspective. Just like Christina says, we know it's only a $15 fix, but if you pull up that part on, Home Depot's website or Lowe's website or Ace's website, whatever, and you're like, see, this is what it is, and here's a YouTube video on how easy it is to fix. Well, I'm not that handy. Well, good for you. I've got 5 people that are. Which color truck do you want in your driveway, right? That's the perspective that we get to add because it keeps people in the ether. Don't worry, I got this is a huge, powerful sentence you can tell people that are freaking out.
I've got Dan like kind of the opposite, and I know we've talked about this on other deals where you just feel like this is the only thing I really am struggling. Well, let me just rephrase this. I'm struggling with this, and it's not the first time I've struggled with this, where you've got a client, like I have a buyer right now. We're going back and forth a little bit. It's one I've been saying we've been working on since Thursday. And I'm like, why is she getting this house? And it just keeps like the more we kind of find out, the more I'm just getting that ick feeling where I'm just like, if this were me, I would not be making this decision. And I'm trying to find that sweet spot between like advising but not imparting any bias on it. I don't think it's the best option for her, but man, is she set on it.
One of the things I'd say is, you've heard me say this, is I want you to make a really good. So my job is to help you make a really well-informed decision. And if you're going to make a bad decision, you're going to make a really well-informed bad decision.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I'm just, it's like originally, this is my client. We've been working together for 2 years. She's built up her credit and everything to get to this point where she qualifies now, but she still is going to use down payment assistance. The house that we're going in on, is the one I asked you, Dan, if we could put in section 8 that seller needs to provide proof of funds to close because they're
Yep.
going to be coming to the table with something.
Yep.
So there's less than zero room, right? And it's like we're nitpicking over what are they willing to do for seller concessions because she's using down payment assistance. She needs seller concessions. The other agent's like, I'm doing it for 1%. Will you do it for 2%? And of course, I'm like, I'm not going to do it for 2%. We just need to find a deal. Like, I'll flex a little bit for her because I want to see her succeed. It's kind of one of those types of stories, but I'm also not, this isn't a freaking charity case here either to that extent. I'm trying to explain to her, because here's the thing. We got a warranty, but they countered us on the warranty. So it's a fairly low warranty for like, I think it's going to give very minimal protections. 25-year-old roof, like 20-year-old, or not quite that old, but super old HVAC. House needs to be remodeled. She's like, I'll need to pull carpets out. And like, I mean, it's like the to-do list is mounting.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, she's so tight on it anyway. And then because we've adjusted the numbers and gone up in loan amount, down in seller concessions. Originally, when we started looking again, and we were looking at new builds and everything else a couple weeks ago, I said, remind me what your monthly is that you're trying to stick to. And she said 2,400. And I was like, ooh, not a whole lot, but okay. We're up to now 3,300 a month. So I'm going, and I revisited this with her, and financing's like, yeah, I mean, she's good for it for income and, debt to income and all that jazz. And I asked her again, are you good for this? Because, when we originally spoke, you said you wanted to stick to 2,400. This is obviously significantly over that. So now, of course, in my mind, I'm like, well, shit, man, if that's what you can do monthly, we need to get back at it and go see what else is out there. You know what I mean?
That'd be the conversation, but she fell in love with this house. Why?
The backyard, mainly.
Okay. Can we get comfortable with the same-ish backyard?
With the what?
Same-ish backyard?
Same-ish backyard?
Yeah.
What do you
Like,
mean?
can we find her something that's nice?
Oh,
Kind of
well,
kind of backyard, nicer
well, this is the challenge with this particular client is I need to be at this. Okay. I want to stay. She wants Continental Reserve, like exclusively. It was a stretch to go show her Saguaro Bloom. So I'm like, these numbers don't jive. Like the picture you're painting and the reality that's out there, 2,400 has to be in this area. I need this, and this. It's not a thing,
I mean,
and then we find this one.
I used to live there.
There's what?
I said Continental Reserve is nice. I used to live there.
Yeah, it's a good area. It's what she's used to. It's where she's from, where she's always lived. I don't know. It's one of those where it's got all my spidey senses up where it's too tight for comfort for me. Increasing her monthly because now she's like, well, they said I can refinance it in 6 months to a year when the interest rates go down, which again, I'm like, fuck, that's a dangerous position to take.
I would tell her that this is your job right now is that perspective is guys, they said that a year ago. Just refinance when the rates come down. The rates haven't come down.
Right. Well, and that's what I told her. I said, I mean, you absolutely can if
the
they
lender?
come down. USA.
They're just trying to pigeonhole a fucking deal. That's
Well,
not
they're the ones that have been working with her the whole time. So, I mean, they've been really good about, kind of walking her through different things and advising her on what she needs to do to get to this point.
But
And like I said, income,
$1,000 house?
does she need a what?
Does she need a $400,000 house?
She wants so for her, it's coming down to like, she needs 3 bedrooms. She's got 4 dogs, so she wants a good size yard. So everything else we're looking at doesn't really have an ideal yard size, or if it does, then the inside's pretty tight. But the game changer is finding out a day and a half ago that the new payment was 33. I was like, okay, hold the phone. Like, we need to go back and look at some stuff then if that's because the other thing is new builds do down payment assistance as well. And her rate right now is at like 7 something with that.
What I would do is I'd get a deal worked up on one, just like one of your vendors that's a new build salesperson, and say, hey, give me something comparable in this area. What would I look like roughly monthly for a buyer that's in this position? And then take it to her and say, hey, look, if you drive 4 miles over here, you get this.
Yeah, I tried to get her to go up to Mandarina because now at this point, like the DR Hortons in Saguaro Bloom are sold out of pretty much everything that would work for her.
Yeah.
Unless she waits longer.
It sounds like she's buying the house for her dogs. Is that what it seems?
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
Which I completely can relate to. But I'm like, man, if she would just expand her search a little bit, like she won't even, I'm like, I got her to go look at something just east of I-10, like literally just on the other side of I-10 from Continental Reserve in a couple other neighborhoods that I know. And she was like, no, it's shit over here. And I was like, all right.
All right, West Sider, get out of here. All right, guys, we got to run out, but we'll continue our conversations tomorrow. Thank you for being on. I know Christmas is in 3 days. We're taking Wednesday. Again, I'll be on if you want, but we're taking Thursday, Friday off for sure. So I'll see you guys tomorrow.
See ya. Thanks.
Who's going to be on?
I'll be on tomorrow and Wednesday.
I'll be on.
Yeah, that's all that matters.